A pilgrimage is a journey or search of moral or spiritual significance. Typically, it is a journey to a shrine or other location of importance to a person's beliefs and faith, although sometimes it can be a metaphorical journey into someone's own beliefs. Many religions attach spiritual importance to particular places, the place of birth or death of founders or saints, or to the place of their calling, or spiritual awakening, or of their connection with the divine, to locations where miracles were performed or witnessed, or locations where a deity is said to live or be housed, or any site that is seen to have special spiritual powers. Such sites may be commemorated with shrines or temples that devotees are encouraged to visit for their own spiritual benefit, to be healed or have questions answered, or to achieve some other spiritual benefit. A person who makes such a journey is called a pilgrim. As a common human experience, pilgrimage has been proposed as a Jungian archetype by Wallace Clift and John Dalby Clift. The Holy Land acts as a focal point for the pilgrimages of the Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. According to a Stockholm University study in 2011, these pilgrims visit the Holy Land to touch and see physical manifestations of their faith, confirm their beliefs in the holy context with collective excitation, and connect personally to the Holy Land. Baha'i faith. Baha'u'llah decreed pilgrimage to two places in the Kitab-i-Aqdis, the House of Baha'u'llah in Baghdad, Iraq, and the House of the Bab in Shiraz, Iran. Later, Abdul Baha designated the Shrine of Baha'u'llah at Barja, Israel as a site of pilgrimage. The designated sites for pilgrimage are currently not accessible to the majority of Baha'is, as they are in Iraq and Iran respectively, and thus when Baha'is currently refer to pilgrimage, it refers to a 9-day pilgrimage which consists of visiting the holy places at the Baha'i World Center in northwest Israel in Haifa, Acre, and Barja. Buddhism. There are 4 places that Buddhists make pilgrimage to: Lumbini, Buddha's birthplace; Bodh Gaya, place of enlightenment; Sarnath, where he delivered his first teaching; Kusinara, where he attained Mahaparinirvana. Other pilgrimage places in India and Nepal connected to the life of Gautama Buddha are Savathi, Pataliputta, Nalanda, Gaya, Vaisali, Sankarsha, Kapilavastu, Kosambi, Rajagaha, Varanasi, Sabarimala. Other famous places for Buddhist pilgrimage include India, Sanchi, Ellora, Ajanta; Thailand, Sukhothai, Ayutthaya, Wat Phrakeaw, Wat Doi Suthep; Tibet, Lhasa, Mount Kailash, Lake Nam Tso; Cambodia, Angkor Wat, Silver Pagoda; Sri Lanka, Polonnaruwa, Temple of the Tooth; Anuradhapura; Laos, Luang Prabang; Malaysia, Kek Lok Si, Cheng Hun Teng; Mahavihara; Myanmar, Bagan, Zagaring Hill; Nepal, Budanath, Swayambhunath; Indonesia, Borobudur; China, Yungkang, Lungmen Caves; the 4 Sacred Mountains; Japan, Shikoku Pilgrimage, 88 Temple Pilgrimage in the Shikoku Island; Japan 100 Canon Pilgrimage composed of the Saigoku, Bando and Chichibu pilgrimages; Saigoku 33 Canon Pilgrimage in the Kansai region; Banda 33 Canon Pilgrimage in the Kanto region; Chichibu 34 Canon Pilgrimage in Saitama Prefecture; Chugoku 33 Canon Pilgrimage in the Chugoku region; Kumano Kodo Mount Koya. Christianity. Christian pilgrimage was first made to sites connected with the birth, life, crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. Aside from the early example of Oregon in the 3rd century, surviving descriptions of Christian pilgrimages to the Holy Land date from the 4th century, when pilgrimage was encouraged by church fathers including Saint Jerome, and established by Helena, the mother of Constantine the Great. Pilgrimages were, and are, also made to Rome and other sites associated with the apostles, saints and Christian martyrs, as well as to places where there have been apparitions of the Virgin Mary. A popular pilgrimage site is along the Way of St. James to Santiago de Compostela, in Galicia, Spain, to the shrine of the Apostle James. Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales recounts tales told by Christian pilgrims on their way to Canterbury Cathedral and the shrine of Thomas Becket. Hinduism. According to Carol Werner's Popular Dictionary of Hinduism, most Hindu places of pilgrimage are associated with legendary events from the lives of various gods. Almost any place can become a focus for pilgrimage, but in most cases they are sacred cities, rivers, lakes, and mountains. Hindus are encouraged to undertake pilgrimages during their lifetime, though this practice is not considered absolutely mandatory. Most Hindus visit sites within their region or locale. Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela is the largest pilgrimage recorded in history. Kumbh Mela is also credited with the largest gathering of humans in the entire world. The location is rotated among Allahabad, Haridwar, Nashik, and Ujjain. Chardham. The four holy sites Puri, Rameswaram, Dwarka, and Badrinath compose the Chardham pilgrimage circuit. Old holy cities as per Puranic texts: Varanasi, formerly known as Kashi; Allahabad, formerly known as Prayag; Haridwar, Rishikesh; Mathura, Vrindavan; Pandharpur, Pathan, and Ayodhya. Major temple cities: Puri, which hosts a major Vaishnava Jagannath temple and Rath Yatra celebration; Katra, home to the Vaishno Devi temple; three comparatively recent temples of fame and huge pilgrimage are Shirdi, home to Sai Baba of Shirdi; Tirumala, Tirupati, home to the Tirumala Venkateswara temple; and Sabarimala, where Swami Ayyappan is worshipped. Shakti Pithas. Another important set of pilgrimages are the Shakti Pithas, where the mother goddess is worshipped, the two principal ones being Kalayat and Kamakhya. Islam. The pilgrimage to Mecca is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and a mandatory religious duty for Muslims that must be carried out at least once in their lifetime by all adult Muslims who are physically and financially capable of undertaking the journey and can support their family during their absence. The gathering during the Hajj is considered the largest annual gathering of people in the world. Another important place for Muslims is the city of Medina, the second holiest site in Islam, in Saudi Arabia. The final resting place of Muhammad in Al-Masjid al-Nabawi. The ihram is meant to show equality of all Muslim pilgrims in the eyes of God, that there is no difference between a prince and a pauper. Ihram is also symbolic for holy virtue and pardon from all past sins. Arba'in, Chehelim or Kirki. Imam Kirki is a Shia Muslim religious observance that occurs 40 days after the day of Ashura. It commemorates the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, the grandson of Muhammad, which falls on the 20th or 21st day of the month of Safar. Imam Hussein ibn Ali and 72 companions were killed by Yazid I's army in the Battle of Karbala in 61 Arba'in or 40 days is also the usual length of mourning after the death of a family member or loved one in many Muslim traditions. Arba'in is one of the largest pilgrimage gatherings on earth, in which up to 31 million people go to the city of Karbala in Iraq. Imam Reza, the second largest holy city in the world, Mashhad attracts more than 20 million tourists and pilgrims every year, many of whom come to pay homage to the Imam Reza shrine. It has been a magnet for travelers since medieval times. Judaism. While Solomon's temple stood, Jerusalem was the center of the Jewish religious life and the site of the 3 pilgrimage festivals of Passover, Shavuot and Sukkot, and all adult men who were able were required to visit and offer sacrifices at the temple. After the destruction of the temple, the obligation to visit Jerusalem and to make sacrifices no longer applied. The obligation was restored with the rebuilding of the temple, but following its destruction in 70 CE. The obligation to make a pilgrimage to Jerusalem and offer sacrifices again went into abeyance. The western retaining wall of the Temple Mount, known as the Western Wall or Wailing Wall, remains in the Old City of Jerusalem and is the most sacred and visited site for Jews. Pilgrimage to this area was off-limits to Jews from 1948 to 1967, when East Jerusalem was under Jordanian control. There are numerous lesser Jewish pilgrimage destinations, mainly tombs of Tzaddikim, throughout the land of Israel and all over the world, including Hebron, Bethlehem, Mount Meron, Netivot, Uman, Ukraine, Silistra, Bulgaria, Damanhur, Egypt, and many others. Sikhism. The Sikh religion does not place great importance on pilgrimage. Guru Nanak Dev was asked, "Should I go and bathe at pilgrimage places?" and replied, "God's name is the real pilgrimage place, which consists of contemplation of the Word of God, and the cultivation of inner knowledge." Eventually, however, Amritsar and Harmandir Sahib became the spiritual and cultural center of the Sikh faith, and if a Sikh goes on pilgrimage it is usually to this place. Zoroastrianism. In Iran, there are pilgrimage destinations called pirs in several provinces, although the most familiar ones are in the province of Yazd. In addition to the traditional Yazdi shrines, new sites may be in the process of becoming pilgrimage destinations. The ruins are the ruins of ancient fire temples. One such site is the ruin of the Sasanian-era Azargoshab fire temple in Iran's Azerbaijan province. Other sites are the ruins of fire temples at Ray, south of the capital Tehran, and the Firuzabad ruins 60 kilometers south of Shiraz in the province of Pars. In India, the cathedral fire temple that houses the Iran Shah Atish Bayram, located in the small town of Udvada in the west coast province of Gujarat, is a pilgrimage destination. Meher Baba. The main pilgrimage sites associated with the spiritual teacher Meher Baba are Mehrabad, India, where Baba completed the major portion of his work and where his tomb is now located, and Meherazad, India, where Baba resided later in his life.